All right. Chargers at the Browns. Jim Harbaugh heading to Cleveland. I remember about 10 years or so ago, the Browns almost traded for Jim Harbaugh. Instead, he's now working for the Chargers. They're favored by 1.5. The Browns have Jameis Winston, who is the most fun player right now, in my estimation, in the NFL. Can the Browns make it 2 in a row with Jameis at quarterback? Again, 1.5-point favorites are the Chargers with an over-under of 43.5.
Well, I told you I watched that Browns-Ravens game on film right closely on Tuesday. Wow. Like, you talk about refreshing, like watching that offense. I mean, what would the Browns be if they had put Jameis Winston in 3 or 4 weeks ago? What would they be? They have an all-star defense. It's still one of the best in football. Their offense, their attack, their talent is good enough to be better than where they are if Jameis Winston was the starting quarterback. The offense looked totally different, which just tells you that Deshaun Watson was holding them back in every way possible. Simple plays, nothing imaginative or creative. They didn't trust him, I don't think, to see throws down the football field or do anything like that. The offense was wide open with Jameis Winston, let alone he's just a better thrower and a better decision maker than Deshaun Watson. He played really good last week. Really good. I think that continues. This is a tough game. We know that. This is two defenses. It's two teams that got a similar style. In-your-face defense. They're going to bring it, right? And on offense, they want to run the football and then take some shots down the field. That's really what they both want to do. I think Cleveland will do it a little bit better here. The reason I'm going to take Cleveland is really just because I feel like they got a few more weapons on offense. I like their offensive system a little bit more than the Chargers. The Chargers offense, they don't have anybody that scares you right now. Their big play guy is Ladd McConkey. He's doing good, but I don't think that's going to be consistently relied on in this game. It's just too much work on that side of the ball. I'm going Browns 24-17, Michael.
You mentioned Ladd McConkey. I had to ask my staff if he's related to Phil. Remember Phil?
Oh, of course. I still text with Phil.
Your dad's Phil McConkey?
I do.
Helicopter pilot?
Exactly.
Was he in the Navy? Helicopter pilot?
And so was his daughter. His daughter's a helicopter
Wow.
pilot in the Navy as we speak right now. He still lives out there in San Diego, and he sends me videos of her and himself. He's a psycho in a good way. He's still running track meets for old men and do like 100-meter dashes. He's not related, but this little Ladd McConkey's a good little player.
Yeah, no relation, even though Phil's in San Diego and Ladd's playing for the team that was in San Diego until a few years ago.
Right.
I put down 23-20. I went through these last night before I went to bed, and I rattled off the scores, and I go with the first thing that comes to me. And again, that's my algorithm. The first thing that pops into my head, it was 23-20, Browns win. There's something about this Jameis Winston thing. It has freed up the team. They feel better than they have all year after knocking off the Ravens last week, and I don't think the Chargers are good enough to end this vibe right now. I'm not saying the Browns are going to keep doing it, but they're going to keep doing it at least for one more week because the Chargers, there's just something. They're 4-3, but there's just something
It's
that
work.
feels a little bit
It's
off.
all work.
I don't know that,
right.
I don't know that Jim Harbaugh can do enough to will them to the postseason.
No.
Maybe he can, but they fall into the category of team that you don't want in the playoffs because I don't think they can win if they get there.
Yeah, I hear you there. They just don't have enough firepower on offense. It's work on that side of the ball. And I'm with you, the Jameis Winston thing. It's refreshing. I think it's awesome that he's kind of owning his crazy pregame speeches and his after the game speech about Eminem and all that. The locker room's going to rally around that kind of crap. It is. So I do think Cleveland's got a little mojo going right now. Hopefully they can continue it this weekend. Yo, homies, thanks for watching. Yeah, it's time. The NFL season is here on Simms Unbuttoned.
You can hit subscribe to get all the weekly picks, plus our Sunday recaps as the games are happening.
Oh, you know it. Nobody does that better than us. Thanks again for watching. Remember to subscribe. Peace out. We'll see you next time on Unbuttoned.